everybody. Welcome back to episode 2 of Being with Raymond Broughton. This is Lindsay's son-in-law. So this is like a special treat for us. And I'm here with my co-host, Lindsay Pollard. I just introduced you just like that. I didn't give you, go ahead.
You know what? I know people know who we are by now, but we just keep introducing ourselves.
We keep introducing ourselves. I don't know. We probably don't need to do that, do we? No, he's like, no, but we do, we just
maybe a new person out there watching for the first time. Who knows?
I know. If you're a new person, tell us that you appreciate that we just introduced ourselves again. Hey, Raymond, we just spent an episode earlier, so go back and watch that if you haven't seen it already. But we're talking about gastric bypass surgery. I guess that is the technical term for it. And Raymond had this done, and I'm already learning so much about this. And so he talked about the pre-surgery process, the prep and all, and the reasons. And man, I agree with Lindsay. You were talking, I was thinking there's a whole lot of psychological, emotional stuff that goes into that. And I want to keep digging into that because, that's my lane I like to dig into. But now, I'm ready to hear the nitty-gritty of the surgery. Let's pretend we're watching from the dome above. So, dig in and tell us how the surgery, you talked about prep. So now we're in the hospital I don't know where you go to do this and get us to that point. Tell us how that went.
Well, I'll tell you, I started this process right before COVID hits. Oh. So everything was normal when I initially started this whole process of getting into having the surgery. Okay. I didn't have surgery until December 11th. Mm. So COVID started really in March and was full effect come Christmas time. So that changed who can be there. I had to go in by myself. I checked myself in and nobody could come up until after the surgery. It was only one person. So when I did that, I walked in and they got me to the room. You get your gown on and it's a pre-surgery room. They start sticking you with needles. They shave you from head to toe. And then they started giving me some medicine. It didn't take at first for me to go out. And then they had to keep giving me medicine. And I finally went.
So you're looking at them like, when's this going to happen?
No, because you're like, don't touch me don't touch me with a knife till that happens.
They started rolling me down the hallway. I was like, I am still here. Understand? We're going to give you some more feel-good medicine. I haven't felt good yet, and y'all still rolling down this hall.
Oh, goodness.
So, and I finally was knocked out, and when I woke up in my room, I said, I didn't know where I really was until my wife was like, "You okay?" I'm like, "Oh, I guess I'm all right." But I said, the moment I realized and the initial pain medicine wore off, you can see my whole lower stomach was wrapped, had 4 or 5 big square bandages on it. But then the moment I turned to the side, my back to my front stitches would go inflamed. Ooh. 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 I couldn't lay on my back for anything. I was trying to lay on my side, but because laying on your side shifts, you're now. I had, like I said, 90% of my stomach was taken out. So now I had a gap in my whole stomach area. So now every time I move, all my intestines are shifting and now pulling on the 5 stitch holes I have in my body. So I'm in pain.
Oh, mercy. Okay, go back up just a minute though, because I'm a detailed person for, what exactly do they do in gastric bypass surgery? Explain to us what the surgeon does.
Well, I had gastric sleeve.
Okay.
Bypass is where they actually literally cut off your stomach and bypass it directly to your intestine, and they leave you all 10% pouch left for you to eat. Well, the sleeve is very similar. They cut off 90% of your stomach. They leave a small banana-sized stomach in you, and they take that out, take the 90% out.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what's the difference then? Because you're talking about a sleeve. So one of them, they take 90% out and they reroute it. But this one, they still leave the connection. I don't know. Explain that.
Well, with the bypass, they basically take out your stomach entirely. You're no longer using your stomach in the bypass. It's just a small pouch that they create for you to hold.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the sleeve where they just cut your stomach basically almost off, 90% of it off, and take that part out.
Now, okay, so let me back you up a little bit too.
I know, right?
How did you feel? Were you anxious going into this surgery? I'm going to ask you two questions. Were you anxious before the surgery, and how did you deal with it, if you were? And the second question is, did you have times prior during the pre-process where you were wavering to where you weren't going to do it, or you were like, I don't know if I'm going to do this?
The biggest part that gave me any anxiety was worried about not waking up.
Okay.
Yeah.
My weight, and I tell you the worst thing, I watched 600 Pound Life. They deal with people who are 600 pounds and higher, but I watched it and worked out to it. It made me really self-conscious of me being so heavy. And my dad also had prostate cancer. I had to put him under anesthesia. They couldn't move him, and he was only a 300 and some odd pound guy. Once he was out, it was difficult. And I was like, I'm 436 pounds.
Right.
I don't know if they're going to be able to move me, or they're going to drop me. Am I not going to wake up? And I got a family. I got a newborn coming. The night before was really difficult. You had to, they give you antibacterial soap. Make sure you clean yourself. You're not germs. You worry about COVID. Make sure you're covered up. You have a mask. It was like, I don't want to bring nothing back to my family either.
Yeah.
So I never wavered that I didn't want the surgery. I had anxiety about how would I come out of the surgery.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. That was the reality of it. But you pressed through.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And you're glad you did.
My parents and family's help. They were all there feeding me soup.
Way to go. Way to have supportive family. Okay, now back to where were we in this? Okay, the stitches are inflamed and you're not comfortable. You're in enormous pain, I'm guessing.
Oh, absolutely. I asked my wife to bring me a pillow for my back because I couldn't lay flat. The moment I tried to lay flat, it literally stretched my stomach. Ooh. And it stretched the stitches, and I would just have to sit there. And mind you, these people coming in every 2 minutes or whatever to check my vitals. They're like, well, your blood pressure's up. I said, I wonder why. I said, I make me move, and now I'm angry, and I'm and so they gave me the morphine, and the morphine did not. It helped the.
It's like click, click, click.
It helped the harshness of the pain, but it was like, this is not getting rid of this pain, and you can't drink right after surgery either. So I haven't drank any water in probably the 48 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dry mouth. I am irritable. I haven't had anything. I couldn't eat anything for the past 48 hours. Yeah. Now I don't have an appetite, but I haven't eaten. I haven't had anything to drink. I'm in pain. They came in with Tylenol. The Tylenol helped better than any other drugs they've given me.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was finally able to get some sleep at that point.
How long were you in the hospital for, Ray?
3 days, maybe. 3 days, 3-4 days.
Yeah.
Okay, so so they put this, they did out. Okay, when were you able to eat again? And was that a slow process going back up again? Like, I mean, you didn't come out of there and eat a steak, I'm sure, right? Because that would have been.
That would have taken him out.
What was that process like?
I didn't start eating till about 2 weeks after the surgery, and that wasn't even eating. I was it was mushed food, basically any soft food. So I can have a mashed potato here, or pudding or yogurt, but I can only hold in my stomach literally a spoonful.
A spoonful.
A spoonful. And when I finally had soft foods, the moment I had soft foods, I passed out. I was in a sleep coma. It was so.
It was too heavy.
Oh, it was so heavy. I went to sleep sitting in the chair.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And I tell you, one of the weirdest side effects after the surgery. Now, mind you, I'm a big guy, so I like my house cold, 60 degrees if I can have it. I chilled to the bone the moment I got out of surgery.
Okay.
And I haven't been able to get back to that yet. I had to wear long sleeves. I wore a jacket, I wore a shirt, a jacket, sweatpants, a blanket, and a hat, and I still was cold.
Wow.
I'm sitting there, my mother-in-law, my wife, and everybody looking like, "Are you okay?" It was like, I am freezing.
Yeah. And it's amazing that surgery would change the whole temperature. Like that, like your stomach, I didn't realize it, like your stomach is associated with your thermostat, your bodily thermostat.
Yes.
It's so interesting. Yeah.
Okay, so when were you able to eat then? So say you had this surgery on a particular day, then you're still they still wouldn't let you for a while even have anything to drink or eat. So when were you able to even start having water, soft food, or soft?
On day 2, they gave me small communion-sized cups, and I can only sip the water every, I think it was a minute and a half. You can only sip the water, and I need to get about 64 ounces done in a day. Okay. So, and you can't gulp. Oh, you cannot take swigs of water. You cannot drink anything fast.
Did you try that, Raymond?
Oh, I tried because I was so thirsty. And it was so painful. And now, mind you, they try to give you a treat right after surgery. When they allow you after the water, they say you can have Jell-O and you can have or soup. Mind you, at this point, I'm done with Jell-O. I'm so done with Jell-O as an adult. I will never eat Jell-O again. I will never. Jell-O. So I was like, but let me try this one time. This is the only thing they give me. It was the worst feeling I had in the world.
Really?
So jiggly and moving. I can feel it going down my throat, hit my stomach, what was of my stomach.
Yeah.
And it just kept rotating and moving. I was like, I said, don't do that no more. I can't do that anymore. Take that away. I don't want any of that.
Yeah.
So you stuck with soup?
Stuck with soup. Oh, I stuck with soup. Tough.
Yeah.
That had some chicken broth and chicken soup at the house. I would take a small little cup and sip, and it'd be hot, and I would feel great. I could just sit down and just.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when did the pain start to kind of alleviate a little bit for you?
It took a month. I say it took a month before the pain was kind of enough to handle on my own.
Okay.
Because we walked every day to make sure, one, I didn't have blood clots in my legs and blood clots.
Talk about that, yeah.
I said, so I had to walk every day. They had compression wraps on my leg while I was in the hospital during the surgery. Right. So once they took those off, they said, you have to walk every day. Mm-hmm. So, okay, so I'm walking, but as I'm walking, too much walking and too fast walking pulls on the stomach, pulls on the stitches. And if I didn't take the medicine at the right time for the pain, it's hard to get back to the house. So I'm just itching along. And now mind you, I'm in Mobile. It's 90% humidity. It's 90 degrees outside. I have a jacket on.
Yeah.
A hood on my head. I am freezing outside in pain trying to walk.
Wow. Well, your body was still trying to heal too, but you said that still is the case. And okay, wait a minute. When did you have this done? So today is September 12th, 2021. When did you have this done?
December 11th, 2020.
Okay. All right. So, all right. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, all right. You're still taking your walks. So after surgery, you're taking your walks because you got to watch. I can't get that out. I got Jell-O mouth. Watch for blood clots and everything. What other post-surgery things, did you experience?
Well, I said I got comfortable at one point thinking, I can probably take in some peanut butter. Because mind you, we've been making protein shakes at the house to get something in me besides the water and the soup, so I can keep mine. Because without protein, your muscles start to break down. So they want to make sure you get in your 32 to 64 grams of protein in. So I was trying to take that down along with the water. I was like, well, I want to just have some peanut butter. Peanut butter is liquid, it's soft, it's smooth. It was the first time I've thrown up in probably 10 years. And nobody knew. Nobody knew. I said I was trying to hide the fact that I was throwing up. I didn't want to look like I was messing up. So I had taken some peanut butter. Everybody was asleep, and I was like, okay, I can do a little piece of this. As soon as it hit my stomach, it would not go down. It got stuck right at the bottom of my esophagus, and because of that, then I started just in the bathroom, couldn't hold it. And that's one of the other side effects you can have with any weight loss surgery. If you eat too much, you can either throw up or it's going to come out the other end in the same thing, just as quickly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. It's quick too. It's not like, oh, I need to go to the restroom. It's like, no, if you did this wrong, you will face the consequences.
Yeah. Okay. So now, does that happen? That doesn't always happen, right? Those are just the initial stuff.
No, that always happens. That's kind of how you have to deal with it from this point on. Because I learned my lesson a few more times after that. But once I was able to start eating thing.
Look at her, like she's picturing all the stuff. I know.
Because I was there for some of it, and so I know what he's talking about.
I said when I overdid it, I had to walk. I was outside pacing in circles.
Yeah.
Just to try to make the food digest, because I couldn't throw up at some point because it doesn't go up your esophagus like you used to as easily. So now I'm walking around just like, okay, just burp. Just hurry up and try to burp. And once you start burping, it's like, okay, now it's digesting. Now you start relieving the pain. Because if not, you are in pain. Your stomach hurts. Your back is hurting. You're starting to get nauseated. You can't hold it. You can't. It's like, okay, I'm just sit down for the rest of the day and not do anything.
Now, did you have other people, like some kind of little support group or some people you could talk about, hey, is this normal? This would be me. Like I'd go, is this normal to feel this way or to have this thing? I mean, at least you're not ripping a stitch and something's wrong. I mean, did you have that?
On Facebook, I did. I found a Facebook group that was local to Mobile, and I would be asking questions. Some people ask the same question I wanted to ask, and I'm reading it, say, okay, yeah, this is kind of normal. Or they say, get used to being cold. You're gonna be cold for the rest of your life. Or don't eat this. Try grits. I was like, I tried grits. Grits is not a fan of mine, not a friend of mine. It was things I could bounce off of people, and the community is actually really close knit, and I'm very appreciative of them because they really do help out. Even on Instagram, when I started my Instagram page, and I would ask other people like, so how did you deal with this? And even someone before the surgery, a young lady, helped me with some before questions as well. She had lost 275 pounds on surgery.
Okay, what's the name of that Facebook group? Is it a national group or is it a local group to you? Or either way.
It was a local group for Mobile. I had to get it for you. It's like bariatrics of Mobile, I believe.
Okay. Because I was just curious if anybody's listening and they want to look up some kind of group, what would they just look up under? You had what is the exact name of your surgery again?
My surgery was the gastric sleeve. The term for C would be VSG.
B what?
V is in Victor, S is in Sam, G is in geriatric.
Okay, so the sleeve, it's gastric sleeve though. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, just so I say this
and
right.
Then out of this, Raymond, you started your own IG. What is the name of that?
That one is called Fight the Fat _VSG. Okay. I post what I started to cook, what meals I was doing, and even the before with the diet is on there as well.
Okay. Okay.
And that's your IG account?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, man. Okay. So this is good because, you know, you don't want to just talk about it and leave people stuck in the middle. We like to help them move a little further through their middle, you know, and you had your middle removed. And I do need to know, I mean, we're going to close this one in a minute, but we have another one coming because I already got another thought. I got to ask you some more questions. But how much weight have you lost in this 9 months since the surgery?
110 pounds.
Wow. Wow.
That's good
And
stuff.
it's 9 months later, you are eating, what is a typical, you know, meals in a day look like for you? What do you eat now?
I still just eat bites of things. Like right now, I'm not the best. I said I've had fries. I've had, you know, I eat wings now. I eat. My eyes are bigger than my stomach, so I've wasted a lot of food. I said, but I can have a burrito, but I won't ever finish it.
Okay.
I'm gonna have a burger, but I won't eat the bread.
Okay. Okay.
No rice. I eat Mexican, but it'll last me 4 days.
Okay.
Okay. In a lot of ways, it lasts you 4 days.
That's okay.
Oh my goodness, I'm filling in the blanks.
And sweets, I said, now in the beginning, milkshakes and ice cream was bad. Not just the fact that I wasn't supposed to be eating it, and there are some that you can have, but taking it in, your stomach digests it different. So I couldn't take in but a spoonful. Even now, ice cream is like maybe a spoonful or two before I'm like, okay, that's enough.
And do you have, okay, one more thing. I know I got to get off of this one, but do you have to take supplements now or any kind of medication for the rest of your life because of this, or talk about that a minute?
More so your multivitamin, and depending on, I have vitamin D to take as well, and then B12.
Okay.
And and there's some calcium too, but my calcium was fine. So some people, depending on how you were before, you had to take in a lot more vitamins after the fact.
But you don't have to take any kind of medication for the rest of your life or anything?
Oh, no, I don't. No, ma'am.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. Well, Lindsay, anything else before closing this one out and going to the next one?
She said, wow. It's a lot of information. It's good information. And we applaud you, Raymond, for taking on this journey and you know, losing the weight that you have lost, seeing that there was a need to do that, and putting your family as the goal. And so, you know, we've been there to support you 100% because we knew this was a huge undertaking for you. And so we just applaud you, man. That's good stuff. It's really good stuff. And hopefully this will help and encourage other people. So when we come back for episode 3, everybody, we're going to dive into a few more things. We kind of leave off at the mental and the physical journey, and then we'll talk about like the post-surgery and all of the things that surround that. So stay with us. We'll be back in a few minutes.